Well, speaking of tsunamis, this next speaker, when I bring him up to you, is about a year ago, a little over a year ago, and we're in Fort Lauderdale. We are at this beautiful restaurant in Fort Lauderdale, me and James and a couple people, and this guy, Bill, he calls me up and he goes, "Where are you?" And I didn't know if he wanted to fight me or what. And I'm like, "Well, I'm at this restaurant." And he goes, "I'll be right there." And he's so intense, man. And he comes, and he was excited. I knew he didn't want to fight me, but man, he just comes, and I see him. I mean, there's 200 people in this restaurant. This guy, boom, and he's just coming through like a great white shark. And he comes up and he goes, "I'm Bill Price. I just had to meet you." And I'm like, "Dude," he goes, "You don't know me, but we're going to know each other. I'm going to rip the lid off this thing." I'm so excited. He was brand new. And I'm like, "Oh, that's a lot of talk." We'll see if he backs it up. We'll probably never hear from this sucker again. Well, you're about to hear from him, and I absolutely love the man. He has signed up 33 personals in the past year, has 410 in his organization, which is going to turn into 4,000. And by the way, we had a lot of agents just up here with 100. I asked James right there. Raise your hand, James. He's the brains to this group. I'm the good-looking one. No, just kidding. But I know if you look this good, you could succeed too. But not all of you have this kind of style and good-looking body chemistry. Now, but James is the Excel spreadsheet. He's the genius. And he told me, when we hit 100, a year later we had 1,000. So to all of our speakers who just spoke, Tierney, everybody, Shireen, everyone, you're going to have 1,000 a year from now. Then you're going to have 10,000. It's crazy. Give him a hand. He did good. So I don't see Bill, but hopefully there he is. Bill Price, everyone. Give him a hand. The man, the great white shark from North Carolina.
Well, first off, I was told I was speaking tomorrow. Yes, it's okay. I do enough lunch and learns during the week that I can do this. So the cool thing, I'm going to talk about RevShare first. I was here in October last year for the convention, and I was like, man, I'm not worthy to be in this room. I sponsored 9 people, and I had 20 in my downline, and it kind of bothered me. And I'm a competitive guy, and I looked at Brent and James, who are amazing, and I said, next year it's going to be 40 and 400. That's my goal. And right now I'm at 33 with 4 in application. So if I keep hitting it the next 2 months, I'll be at my 40. And I think I'll hit maybe 500. I'm at 416 today. So 6 grew from last night because that's when you guys asked me where I was. My background, let's see. I went to UConn undergrad. We're known for basketball, if you don't know the team. And good team also, not bad. You can slum over there all you want. But after I got my master's, I opened up 3 Subway sandwich shops. And then after that, I opened a nightclub, I opened an Irish pub, I opened a restaurant. And then I decided Connecticut was way too expensive to live in. I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, and I opened up 5 fitness centers. And then I sold everything. And for a year, I didn't do anything. I got my real estate license. Then I really found out what it is to work. 6 months in, I sold 1 piece of land to a friend. And I was like, what am I doing? And then I decided we're going to talk real estate first, what I did differently. And Craig LePage and my sponsor and Jake Kinder and all these other master social media guys, AJ, they'll tell you that I work harder than smarter. But guess what? I'm 52. I don't know how to do social media. If you offered me $50, $1 million to post something on Facebook right now, I wouldn't know how to do it. So I advertised. I hit a community, and I flyered it every month myself at 11 o'clock at night. Why? Because you'll run people over if you do it at 4. And then after 2 years of doing it and spending $700 a month, the phone would just ring. And 10 years later, I sell about 25 houses a year just in that community. So it kind of worked. So my real estate tip is I always answer my phone. and I just go after this one community. Last year, I left a smaller brokerage firm where I closed $20 million a year, every year, all by myself. I don't have a buyer's agent, no one. Like I said, I don't work smarter, just work harder. The cool thing is, when I walked out the door, they're like, you're never going to sell any property with this ESP company you're going to. And I said, we'll see. And to date, I have $23 million under contract or closed since January. So, my goal is if I can finish up at 25, I can say, actually, my sales increased by 25%. So how did I get involved at EXP? First off, I want to thank Gene, Rob, and Brent and James, because those 4 people actually gave everyone in this room an opportunity to change our lives. So thank you so much. Really appreciate that. So then I got the phone call from my friend Craig LePage and Shelley Johnson. You guys stand up for a second? They're my sponsors. And we were all at Keller Williams together one time, and I always used to tease LePage because we were always like number 1 and 2 individual agents. And I was like, we should, team up and build a team together. And instead, he chose wisely. He chose Shelley instead of me. So it worked out really good for him. So they called me and said, let's meet for beer tomorrow. I'm like, okay, twist my arm. I'll have a beer. And I said, what's about? He said, business opportunity. I said, oh, Lord, I'm not selling vitamins or shakes. I can't do it. And he's like, no, real estate opportunity. And he's like, I was like, are we going to buy real estate investment? He goes, no, it's a new real estate company. And I was at a company, little boutique firm, and I was only giving the guy $7,000 a year. In January, I'd write a check for $7,000. I'd be 100% the rest of the year. And I'm doing $20 million a year. Where am I going? I'm pretty happy where I'm at. He's like another person said, you'll be financially irresponsible if you don't do this. I said, you do know you're talking to a realtor. I'm financially irresponsible every second of the day. Right? I mean, I don't know about you guys. Even to this day, I pretty much have that commission check spent before closing. So he says, no, you'll be financially irresponsible to your wife and children. Oh, God, I got 4 kids. I better go to this meeting. And by the way, my kids, Lori Lords always laughs at this. I have a 24-year-old, 17-year-old, a 15-year-old, an 18-month-old. Okay? So I am a busy guy. So I meet with these guys. I see this opportunity, and it was kind of a no-brainer. And I came home, I sat down with my wife, and I said, I'm going to leave Southern Homes. I'm going to go to this new company. She's like, why? You're so happy where you're at. I said, I'm tired of being someone else's end game, honey. I am the retirement plan for Craig Hill, the owner of this little company. He's a great guy. I'm still good friends with him. I had lunch with him the other day. I said, but wouldn't it be nice for once that we can control our retirement, have our own end game for once? I looked at it, I said, you know something? Blindfolded, I could introduce this to 5 people a year. After 5 years, I'll have 25 people, probably grow to 100. I call it a nice little pinch in this revenue share program. I can make an extra, I don't know, 75, 100 grand a year. It's kind of cool. And I was a guy with all the rental properties. The last gentleman that just spoke talked about rental properties, right? I got a call from Mario, my plumber, last night. One of the water heaters has worms in it, and he has to replace the water heater at like $1,200. It got into the carpet downstairs. I had to replace the carpet at $2,400. So when my revenue share took off about 5 months ago, I had 12 rentals. I'm down to 6. And the one with worms, guess what? It's going to be for sale too. So I would sell them all, but I have to wait till January 1 because of tax reasons. So what's kind of cool is I had a 5-year plan where I was going to make maybe 100 grand a year. And I just got paid $30,000 this month. So just 2 more points and I'll get off the stage. I'm boring you enough. AJ Maida, please stand up. AJ Maida, you're going to hear from him tomorrow. AJ introduced it to Craig and Shelley, AJ was one of the first people in North Carolina. And AJ, how many people you have in your rev share now? Save it for tomorrow. It's a big number, and I feel so bad for him. He's 31 years old. Okay. He's great. So what we did in North Carolina, what I started doing, I'd called my friend Rob, said, Rob, let's go to lunch. I'm going to tell you about this new company. Then I called my friend Cody. Let's go to lunch on Tuesday. And then Wednesday with James and Thursday with Brent. I said, for the love of God, I got to sell houses, and this is costing me a fortune. So we started, I said, we're going to copy what Brent does. We're going to do lunch and learns. And that's what we do in Charlotte. And right now we have 7 locations, and we do lunch and learns every week. And then I take my leaders, people I really respect and trust, like Holly, like Lori, like Keely, who you heard from already. And they run a lunch and learn in Charlotte, and we all can go to it. And that's kind of how we've expanded with our lunch and learns. And we go a little further. Craig and Shelly have a great, beautiful office. Every week they have education. We invite all the EXP agents to the education. And then my buddy I sponsored, Rich, who's not here, who sponsored Keely, he does Zoom calls once a week. So between all of us, we have an opportunity to spread to other agents how this business can grow. Besides that, I really want to thank Brent and James. You guys have been there for me 100%. Love you guys. I really appreciate it. I love this company. It's an absolute no-brainer. If you're here and your name is Cody, you just need to sign up. Okay, Cody? There's Cody's right there. Abby, point him out. It's right there. There he is, okay? Very successful agent, good team. But last thing, don't convince, be a sorter. Don't be a convincer. If you're a convincer, I learned this from Rob, you're going to basically try to keep convincing that one agent to come over. Just sort through them. It's like a deck of cards. You got 4 aces in there. And if you have to try to convince someone to come to lunch, learn, or watch a webinar, don't waste your time. Go with someone else. Cody and I spoke about, 5 times over the last month or so. I didn't smother the guy. I just said, you're a mega producer. This is a great opportunity. You should come and check it out. So there's my advice for basically introducing EXP. Brent, come save me.